How big it is to work with everybody, regardless of promotion or the politics, but to get your fighters, regardless of who they are, that top fight?
Honestly, like I can't tell you, being involved in something like this week with Jacobs Canelo, fuck the money. I mean, the money's there, and it's our job to make sure the fighters get it. But you can't take away that buzz of seeing your guy up there, walking in a ring with him, being part of the team that week. And that's why I want Tevin to unify the division, because I want to see him go on and add more belts to the collection, be a great, because I know he's got the mindset and the ability to do it, but you have to provide him with the opportunities. That's why I'll never restrict him for taking another huge payday or another big opportunity if it means creating a legacy. And not just a financial legacy, but a legacy within the sport. So, you know, I'm happy to work with anyone. You know, we've got this, someone asked Devin Haney yesterday, you know, you signed with Eddie Hearn. He said, yeah, you wouldn't believe how many people were phoning me up saying, don't sign with Eddie Hearn. Whatever you do, don't sign with Eddie Hearn. I'm talking about advisors, I'm talking about broadcasters, I'm talking about other, so that's what we're up against. But people like Tevin are the guys where I can say to other fighters, I tell you what, ask Tevin Farmer, because the best spokesman you can have is a fighter. So I feel like I said to, and when I signed Tevin, I probably said to him, speak to Danny Jacobs, you know, speak to Demetrius, speak to Devin Haney, speak to Tevin, because these are the best spokespeople for you. If you treat them fair and you treat them with respect and you deliver for the fighters, they're not going to say bad things about you. So that's it, what it's about for us, is getting credibility away from the haters saying, no, don't go to DAZN, don't go to Eddie, you can't do that. Oh, I said it'll be a disaster for your career. What planet do you live on? What do you want to do? You want to box once a year and get told, oh, there's a date coming, that's a date coming? Exactly, or box 5 times a year, make a load of money and be part of a team that's enjoyable to be around.
Would this be safe to say that this is the biggest week of DAZN history so far, and matchroom boxing?
Yeah, matchroom boxing USA.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we've done some huge events worldwide. This is a massive event. You know, it's all very well saying pay-per-view is dead, and you know, American fight fans are forking out $80, $90, $100 every month for one night. Look at the last 3 pay-per-views. No guys won a round in a B-side corner. On the undercard, no guy has won a round in a B-side corner. Yet you guys in America are still willing to pay $80 or $90 or $100 for a night of pay-per-view. You could spend that and get the entire year on pay-per-view. And what are you going to get in that year? You're going to get Canelo Jacobs. You're going to get Usyk heavyweight debut at the end of the month. You're going to get Anthony Joshua's American debut. You're going to get the return of Golovkin. That's just in the next 5 weeks. Then you've got Canelo or Jacobs versus Golovkin. You might have Joshua against Deontay Wilder. You might have Tevin Farmer against Tank. Demetrius against in an undisputed fight. That's all for the night of one pay-per-view. Like, how can you even consider not buying DAZN for a year? It's like it's giving value away.
Can you expand upon being a social media star this week with the picture with Dana White?
Yeah.
What's behind that? Is Dana getting into boxing? That's what we're hearing.
Do you know what? All it was I went to the UFC training centre, because that's where Danny's been training. Dana's son was hitting the pads, and Dana came out and started watching him. I'm a massive Dana White fan. I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but I have massive respect for what the UFC have done. In fact, I'll be honest, a lot of the things that we do are based around the success and the things that the UFC have done. So I went over, I introduced myself to him, and he was like, oh wow, like, you know, we spoke. He had the courtesy to take me to his other building across the road where they're going to be doing live shows. Listen, him and the UFC business is hugely motivational to what I do, right? So like Tevin, you might have a guy like, I don't know, even Canelo, like these kind of guys. They're inspiring to Tevin. So if he meets Canelo, he watches a Canelo fight, he sees Canelo train, it gives him a bit of fire in his belly. Well, that's the same with me when I'm around Dana White or UFC, because I realise that what we've created is nowhere near yet at the level that the UFC have created as a business, and it's highly inspirational for me to be around people like that and be around a business like that to show me that we have a long way to go. Because just when you think you've cracked it, you know, we're in the UK, we're the biggest in the UK, you go and meet the UFC guys and you look at that business and you think, wow, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. And for me, as a business guy, not a fighter, that's the kind of thing that motivates me, put fire in my belly. So, you know, it was a real, it was very kind of him to have the courtesy to show me that. I was really impressed by meeting him.
Yes. Would you get him in the into the boxing side? Because that's what
you know. I think it's only a matter of time. You know, I did tell him that it's not like the UFC. You know, like it's not a case of, oh, Tevin, you're fighting Tank in September, off you go. Don't work like that in boxing. And that will be very frustrating to him, because he was saying to me, like, how can Joshua, like, how can Wilder not fight Joshua? Like, what is going on? I say, mate, this is the frustration of boxing. So it's very different to UFC. There's also the perception in UFC that fighters are sort of bound to the UFC and it's a very unfair contract. I've got to say, like, when you look at the facilities that are available to the fighters, you know, you've got this gym, you're training, you've got this restaurant, you've got...
I've been talking about the PI Institute.
Yeah,
it's $25 million.
I know, it's incredible.
I just changed the topic.